Is there anybody here who's ever asked, why do we even have a Black History Month? Anybody ever asked that? Ooh, you lying. You lying. You're shy, you don't want to ask. And the truth of the matter is, sometimes when we have questions about other groups, we don't want to ask because we don't want to come across sounding insensitive. But I know there's people here who've probably asked that at one point in their life, why do we even have a Black History Month? Put your hand up if you did not know that right here in Canada, we actually had slavery. Slavery existed right here in Canada. Put your hand up if you did not know that. Yeah, there's a few hands. So in the United States, slavery existed for 400 plus years. But right here in Canada, slavery existed as well for 200 plus years. Put your hand up if you did not know that the very first slave to arrive to Canada was only 6 years old. Put your hand up if you did not know that. Put your hand up if you did not know that the first Black person to be in Canada, to arrive in Canada, was actually not a slave at all. Put your hand up if you did not know that. Put your hand up if you did not know that at one point in time, Black people weren't allowed to have fun in Canada. It's a little weird, right? Put your hand up if you did not know. So in 1785, in Shelburne, Nova Scotia, there was actually a law that said that Black folks who lived in that city weren't allowed to have fun. Now let me ask you this question. Put your hand up if you've learned this information that I just talked about in your school system at some point growing up. You've got a couple hands, but not a whole lot. See, going back to the first question, why do we have a Black History Month? We have a Black History Month. We have an Asian Heritage Month. We have an Indigenous Month. We have a Women's History Month because, unfortunately, the history that all of us have put together to create this country into what it is today, it's not being heard and it's not being recognized. Not everybody has the same opportunity to have their voices to be heard. And the truth of the matter is, when you really dig into our history of this country, it was built on the backs of a lot of different people. But unfortunately, the history books that you read that are given to us in school, it doesn't reflect this information that I gave you and all the information that shows all the other groups that were able to help to build up this country. This is why we have a Black History Month, an Asian Heritage Month, an Indigenous Month, a Women's History Month, because it helps us to remember the people who have helped to build this country into what it is today. And the fabulous thing is that the next step is you. You have an opportunity to create the next step in our history to make this world, make this country the way it needs to be.